taking me down. Hey, 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 when I need to be saved, you're making me strong, you're making me stand. Shot like a rocket up into the sky, nothing can stop me tonight. You make me feel invincible, earthquake powerful, just like a tidal wave. You make me brave, you're my titanium fight song, raising up like the roar of victory in a stadium. Who can touch me, 'cause I'm who can stop me tonight? You make me feel invincible.
Oh yeah! Welcome to the most must-see Berkshire League talk show in history. Welcome to the Rundown BL Tourney Early Prediction Edition. It's been a while since we came out with a video, but for those of you who have forgotten, I'm Cody Diz. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video when it comes out. Please hit the like button, please subscribe, follow the Instagram. Definitely could use the support, and let's get right into it. We have a lot to talk about. If you guys don't realize what's on the cover of this video, I think you guys ought to take a second look, because this is something that we haven't seen in a long, long time. And we went through the history books to get some information. We went back and did next-gen stats on this. We have HOUSY getting their first win. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Dominic Dow getting his 1,000th point, along with the regular season Berkshire League Championship on senior night, which was awesome. We got to see them cut the net and everything, and we'll show you pictures from that as well as we go through it. And then Berkshire League tournament predictions, both for the girls and the guys. I know the girls play tomorrow, but I definitely want to put my predictions out there. For those of you who have been asking me, hey, who do you think is going to win the tournament? Who do you think is going to go far? This is what the rundown is for. This is what we do, all right? So this is how we're going to do it. I'm going to run through the games. I'm going to go through the entire tournament and my predictions for what's going to happen and who will end up being the champions. And by the end of this video, you will know my predictions as well as who I think will excel in states, because states will be coming up pretty shortly after. So let's get right into it. Once again, like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow the Instagram. Okay, Housatonic, the Mountaineers, the guys team, not the girls, because the girls, they've been balling this year. That's why they're the 3 seed at the moment. Like I said, we'll get to that later. The guys, they have struggled. Obviously, the history is not on their side at the moment. Over the last 2 decades, they have struggled very, very big time. And it's been a question as to when they're going to finally get back to that, top level that they were at back in the 80s, 70s, when they were really excelling as one of the top teams. I went back way into the history books to find when their best season was. They finally did it. Guys, we've been waiting for this since 2020. Actually, since before that. Housatonic finally has their first win of the new season. It wasn't even an outer league game either. They were able to defeat the Yellow Jackets. Now, we kind of trolled the Yellow Jackets a little bit on the Instagram, and that's my fault for that. I probably shouldn't have put that out, but this is big. I mean, oh my God, the Mountaineers, they did it. There's nothing else to say. The Mountaineers have gotten their first win on the year, and with that win, they actually have a shot to make the Berkshire League tournament. Now, I know this is very tough, because they actually have 3 games left on the year. I believe they have 2 makeups, and then they have Wamogo at some point to end the year, which was originally supposed to be their ending game. And that game definitely doesn't really matter, besides for HOUSY. If they could somehow beat the Warriors, that's insane. But right now, we're counting on the other games for HOUSY. But they have a good shot. If Gilbert loses their last game, and HOUSY wins out, besides they don't need to win the Wamogo game, but it would definitely help them. They could slide into the 8 seed or even the 7 seed if Thomaston loses out. There's a good potential we see the Mountaineers at the 7 seed at best this year. Probably not, though, because Thomaston swept HOUSY this year, so the tiebreaker would go to the Golden Bears. So most likely the 8 seed, it's still up for grabs. Don't count out the Mountaineers yet. Personally, I really want to see the Mountaineers in the BL tournament because I want to see what they would be able to do when it comes to like the big game like that. Obviously, in the regular season, things are different, but when you have a chance at, a championship, the championship pedigree comes out, the shooters come out, everything comes out, and you see the big-time stars either decline or you see the low-time stars go up, and that's what I think could happen. Obviously, Russell Sears, he's done his best job to really lead this team. He did a very good job on Tuesday. Also, there's another kid on the team that put up 17 points that led them that night against Gilbert. And once I get his name, it starts with an X. I know that. Once I get his name and actually remember it, I will put it out there. Trust me, I'm not forgetting you. I just don't know HOUSY's roster too well besides Russell Sears, Brayton Wood, Harry Shop. That's really like the three that I know. Oh, Austin Byer. It's been a low season, so don't put it all on me, please. It is on me, though. I will remember that. Anyways, I think HOUSY is going to be interesting. Their future may not look too bright at the moment with everything going on. Obviously, this is Russ's last year. You want him to be, in the BL tournament, though. You want him to get that chance because that's something that he hasn't gotten a chance to do. It was funny, though, because everyone was saying freed Russ after HOUSY won. I'm in full belief of that. I'm going with that. I don't know. I think HOUSY is going to be interesting if they somehow get into the tournament. They play Terryville round 1, so, the Kangaroos most likely are going to give them the beating that they did earlier this year. Dow, pretty sure, dropped 50 on them once. Oh, no, that was Gilbert. But either way, they would play Gilbert or HOUSY, so Terryville's probably in a good luck. Speaking of Terryville, let's segue into that. Perfect transition. Dominic Dow, senior night. Big night because there was so much going on. First of all, Dominic Dow is a senior, so it's his senior night, which means he's playing in front of his family. He's getting the honors that he should, along with Jake Rinkovich, and there was a couple other seniors on the team. I'm not good with the grade thing besides like the big-time guys. I will be honest about that, but we're going to see a lot more about that with these pictures that I'm going to be putting up while I talk about this. But Dominic Dow also got the chance to hit 1,000 points, join his kind of mentor, Shea Tracy, who was also a Terryville legend on the 1,000 point board, along with 11 others. Dominic Dow hit it, and he also put up a 40 bomb. Not many people decide to just throw out 40 points like that random, but he had Gilbert, and it was his senior night, so, hey, Dom Dow said, why not? I think Terryville just said, hey, give him the ball, why not? And that win also gave them the regular season Berkshire League Championship, and as you can see in the photos, all the players, getting up on that ladder because they climbed to the top of the mountain and got the Berkshire League Championship for the regular season and the number 1 seed, which means they have the best odds of coming out of the tournament alive. And honestly, even before that, I think when they only had 1 loss heading into the first 10 games and it was an outer league loss, I think it was pretty clear that they were going to be the team to beat because nobody has challenged them besides the Warriors this year. Actually, the Highlanders in their last matchup against the Kangaroos, they gave them a pretty good fight. So I think it's going to be kind of interesting to see where that goes. The Highlanders actually just clinched the 3 seed, which also means the Warriors clinched the 2 seed with that. Big matchups headed your way for the Berkshire League tournament, I'd say. But back to Terryville, I think they have a great chance to do something big, not only in the BL tournament, but in states. They're going to have one of the highest seeds in states. That's not something you could easily say for a BL team. States is probably the toughest tournament that every BL team faces, but they got a good shot, and I'm really confident in Dominic Dow. And if he doesn't get going, Jake Rinkovich, Ryan O'Donnell, Trevor Ferguson, he's been lighting it up recently in the box scores. If you guys haven't seen it, he's been putting up solid games for them. And I even went to a couple games for Terryville to commentate, and he performed well in those games. So they got a deep roster. They got a roster roster that really wants to win, and they all fight to the final buzzer. So, you know what? I'm really trusting this team. And it was great to kind of see Mark Fowler be able to cut the net down. Dominic Dow, Jake Rinkovich, all these guys who have worked so hard to get here. So congrats to Terryville for winning the regular season BL championship. Also, congrats to Thomaston for the girls for winning their regular season BL title, because we never really covered girls this year, and I never really got the chance to say it. So Thomaston girls, congratulations on your BL title. Really respect it. You guys have been doing very well over the last couple years, and the program definitely shows it. The talent has shown it. And now it's BL tourney time, which segues into the next segment, BL girls tourney predictions. Now, I know it's tomorrow, so it's going to be kind of tight for you guys to see these predictions, unless you have a later game, which some teams do. But here's the rundown of the entire tournament, and I actually have this laid out for you guys as you can go through this. So, the 1 seed Golden Bears, who won the regular season Berkshire League Championship, they're going to be taking on the Wamoga Warriors in the first round at 11:30 a.m. Eastern tomorrow. And the entire tournament is at Thomaston High School, so it should be interesting for them. They're going to have a home field advantage throughout the entire thing as the 1 seed. Northwestern had that a couple years ago, and unfortunately fell to HOUSY that year, so it'll be kind of interesting to see what Thomaston can do in their own house. But they got some tough competition also in this tournament if they make it that far. Next game, the Cowboys, who are the 7 seed, haven't really had a great season. They were one of the 3 teams with 3 or 4 wins, along with Terryville, who missed the tournament, and Wamoga, who is the 8 seed. But Litchfield is going to be playing against Nonalog. That's going to be one heck of a... I think that will be a good game. Litchfield, they may not have many wins, but I know they have the intensity. I know they have a good shooter in Katia Krepa. I think that's how you say her name. It's very tough sometimes for me to kind of read these names of players who are really good, and I don't fully understand it. But she's a very good basketball player. I've seen her play a couple times. She's very good. That is going to have to compete with Erin Classy, Sophia Pagnamenta, Mallory Tomkalski, the junior, who's been really doing well this year. They have a lot of weapons. Even though they don't have Sam Conti, they got some weapons. And I'm confident that Nonalog can get through that first round pretty easily. Now, then you got the Spartans at the 6 seed against the Mountaineers at the 3 seed. They're at 3 o'clock. Also, forgot to mention, the Cowboys and the Chiefs, they're at 1:15 p.m. that day. But 3 o'clock, Spartans, Mountaineers. The Spartans actually just won in overtime against the Mountaineers. So, little bit of redemption for Housatonic coming up tomorrow. They're going to really be playing tough, and they need to bring their A game, but they can't let emotions get the best of them. If the Spartans, with this big win, they carry that momentum right now. I don't care if it was in overtime. I don't care if Sydney Segala had the game of her life and Tori Dodge did really well. The Spartans aren't going away that easily. They said last night or the other night that they are here to play. So you know what? Give the Spartans some credit as the 6th seed. They could be a flyer in this tournament. So honestly, I think this is going to be a very good game. This might be the second. This will be the second best game on the entire card tomorrow, because there's going to be another game, the 5 and 4 seed, the rivalry game that everyone wants to see and loves to see. It's going to be Maddie Topa against Emily Arell. It's going to be the Highlanders against the Yellow Jackets. This is what we saw a week ago, and these two performed to the very top. This is going to be the battle for the next 3 years, and you guys saw it both rivalry nights. These two really performed to the top level, and a lot of the times when they were on each other, people were standing up because this is the matchup to watch. Like, these two are the future of Winston, and they're going to be going at it over the next couple years. So this is fun to see. But you got other supporting casts. For Gilbert, you have Kimmy McCarthy. You have Isla Gudick. You have Sammy Lukowski. That's a good other 3 that you could put into that. Then for the Highlanders, you got Allie Danila. You have Morgan Plitt. You have Eliza Austin. You have so many good players on both sides. of the spectrum. So this is really going to be the bang-bang matchup of this tournament, I think. This is going to be the tournament where, these teams got to prove themselves. My prediction is the teams that make it to round 2 will be the 5-seed Highlanders going up against the 1-seed Golden Bears, and the 3-seed Mountaineers against the 2-seed Chiefs. I think majority of the top seeds will make it, but the Highlanders do have the Yellow Jackets number this year, and that's why I think, even though it is tough to sweep a team 3-0 in a single season, I think this is the time where it's the case. So, that being said, round 2, I believe the Golden Bears are going to go to the BL Finals. I love my Highlanders, but I just think the Golden Bears are a stronger team, and, they've shown it over the last couple years. I truly think that the Golden Bears have a good shot of just going all the way with it. But the Mountaineers, I believe, are going to beat the Chiefs in an upset, because the Mountaineers, Sydney Sagala's been balling. She's a 1,100 point scorer for a reason, and the Chiefs, while they're a good team, while they're all around good, I think the Mountaineers will just barely escape that one with the win, because Sydney Sagala, Tori Dodge, they work so well together. That's just a 2-woman concept. I think they do a very good job. Final game is the Mountaineers and the Golden Bears, then in this case, which the Golden Bears, they're going to be the 1 seed at their house for the Berkshire League title. They're written in history. I mean, come on. This one's got to go to the Golden Bears. I'm sorry to the Mountaineers for all the hope you guys have brought over the last 4 years with this incredible girls team that you guys have displayed. But I just think the Golden Bears just go back-to-back with the repeat of champions. There's no shot that in their own house they don't end up becoming the winners of this tournament. And that's just kind of how I see it. They have the crowd on their side. They have the travel advantage on their side. They have every single possible advantage you could think of. So the Golden Bears are going to end up beating the Mountaineers to win the Berkshire League Girls Tournament. And if you guys don't respect the girls tourney, then you can just leave this video right now, because these girls been working so hard. And I really want to see this entire tournament excel. And I want to see packed stands at this tournament, all right? I want to see every team's fan base pack into these arenas, okay? Let's see it. Now, the boys tournament. We just talked about the girls. Obviously, this is going to be a tough girls tourney. But the boys tournament is going to be very, very physical. There's going to be a lot of games that you see the best out of. Now, let's go into this. The Yellow Jackets right now are probably going to be the 8th seed unless the Mountaineers can, work their way into that. But they're going against the Kangaroos. Right now, I'll just say the Kangaroos are probably going to win that. I mean, there's no doubt that with Dominic Dow, Jake Rinkovich, Ryan O'Donnell, Trevor Ferguson, Jeremy Lagasse, Charlie Rogers, that team is just so deep, and they all play so well to their strengths. I just think Terryville blows whoever out of the water, because they've done that all year. When we get the times for these games, I'll let you guys know. Probably on the Instagram, I'll let you guys know, because, I'm on that more than I am on the YouTube, but I needed this video to come out. Next, the Cowboys and the Chiefs. They're the 4 and 5 seed, but it determines who's the 4 and who's the 5. The Chiefs could very well be wearing road jerseys in their home arena, because the Chiefs are hosting the Berkshire League tournament for the guys this year. Kind of interesting. You would think they would just host both tournaments at the same spot and kind of have them overlap. I'm not going to be the one to judge, though. I personally think the Chiefs have the momentum in this, but you never know. The Cowboys could come out firing. Also, I just watched a game last night. AJ Quesnell for Litchfield, he's a bucket. He was against Northwestern on the road, and he was dominating, honestly. He was the big name from last night. So, AJ Quesnell, if you could bring that shot to the tournament, thank you. Much appreciated. Want to see Litchfield go far. Yeah, that's really what I got to say about that matchup. It's going to be a tough one. The 4 and 5 is always tough, and I think it's always the most fun one to watch besides a tournament championship. So, we'll just see what happens. The Spartans and the Highlanders. This is going to be kind of an interesting game, because the Spartans, who actually had a shot at the 3 seed, just ended up losing 2 straight in blowout losses, and they actually just won to save their state contention. They have one more game on the year, and if they can win that, they will be in states. But if they lose, they're out. 6 seed Spartans against 3 seed Highlanders. The Highlanders have done very well at the end of this year. There was a couple games where they were kind of at a rough stretch, but I think they got it back in their system now. Like, they got to win. This is honestly their time. They got to clutch up. They end the season pretty well. The Spartans, I believe, have the Warriors, so that's going to be tough. We'll see what happens with that. That's the 6-3. The 7-2 is the Golden Bears and the Warriors. How fitting that the Warriors have to play the Golden Bears in both tournaments. But for this case, not like the girls, the Warriors are actually on the upper side, where the Golden Bears are the ones who are probably going to get dominated unless the Golden Bears pull out some magic rabbit out of their hat. I don't know. This is going to be tough. Mike Genovese and Vince Russman are going to have to give it their all. And honestly, everyone on that team is going to have to bring it, because this Warriors team, they're good. And it's tournament time. If you guys have seen a Warriors BL tournament, you know Greg Hunt coaches different. You know Greg Hunt is stepping up to that level when it comes to coaching. You know Charlie Coffey is stepping up to that level of intensity. Nolan Totoro last year in the BL tourney, for the one game he had, he was good. Carter Nordland, good defender. Could see him step up in a big way on the offensive side or on the defensive side like he always does. Yeah, this is a good team. The Warriors have probably the best odds to beat the Kangaroos this year, not even just because of seeding, but because of how well they played against the Kangaroos this season. So this is going to be tough. I think the Warriors just go right through the Golden Bears, no doubt about it. So for round 2, I have the Chiefs and the Kangaroos facing each other as kind of the 1 against either the 4 and 5. Either way, Chiefs are winning that because all high seeds are going to be winning. So that means the Highlanders and the Warriors will face off, and the Warriors have the Highlanders number. So that's kind of the big thing. Earlier this year, the Highlanders lost on a buzzer beater because they didn't grab a rebound, and rebounding has been a big issue throughout a lot of teams in the BL, the Highlanders being especially one of them, I would say, because in these big games they haven't been able to pull down rebounds. It seems like, honestly, a lot of the time over the last few years, they just like playing volleyball with it around the rim, trying to tip it in. Yeah, it might work, but you got to grab it down and just go straight back up as strong as possible. That's what Devin DeVita does really well, and you guys can see that in-game consistently out of him. Honestly, I think the Warriors just pull this one out. I think it's going to be a close game, but this is going to be at the Warriors' pace. This is exactly why I think they're going to win. The Chiefs and the Kangaroos, the Chiefs are either going to be the 4 or 5, which means no matter what, they're going to be wearing road jerseys in this game. Personally, this is going to feel like a home game to them, though. However, this is going to be the toughest game they have all year because the Kangaroos swept the Chiefs this year, and it's not going to be easy. It's going to feel like a home game, but you're also going to have your backs against the wall. And honestly, the crowd may not make that difference with Dom Dow, Jake Rinkovich, and the whole team. Mark Fowler, one heck of a coach, even though Tim Fitzpatrick is a very good coach himself, and he's done a good job with these boys considering everything they've gone through with Ben Conti being hurt, new coaching system, which the players have to get used to. Definitely a lot different. So I think the finals for the BL Guys Tournament is going to be the Warriors and the Kangaroos, which we've seen twice this year pull out some big games. Here's the difference. BL tourney-wise, the Kangaroos are trying to become back-to-back champs. The Warriors have something to prove heading into the state tournament, saying, we can beat this team on our best night, so we need to be on our best night. Greg Hunt has the championship pedigree. So does Mark Fowler, but Greg Hunt is the most recent champion that's consistent. Honestly, I'm going with the upset here. I'm saying the Warriors win this tournament, but I'm saying the Terryville Kangaroos give them one heck of a fight. Like, this could be an OT game. It's at Nanawag, so once the times come out for those games, I'll let you know. But right now, my BL tournament winners are the Thomaston Golden Bears for the girls against the Mountaineers, who are the 3 seed, and the Warriors upsetting the Kangaroos. Warriors are the 2 seed for the boys tournament. And if you guys don't agree with me, hey, this is just my predictions. Ask all your friends, your family, your parents, your grandparents. Ask everybody you can. Ask your coaches. We'll see who comes out on top, but this is going to be one heck of a year for the BL tourney, and I can't wait to be a part of it. I'm going to try getting to those tournaments to live stream and commentate, especially the BL Championship. I will be there no matter what. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. That's going to do it. If you guys like or hate my predictions, put them in the comments section, whether or not you guys think I'm wrong about something, or whether or not I gotta give my respect to someone else who I haven't in this video. But best of luck to every team in the tournament. This is gonna be a fun one. This is gonna be a great one, and this is gonna be competitive AF. Thank you guys so much for watching. Really appreciate the support. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, follow the Instagram, and I'm out. BL Tourney tomorrow. Peace.